Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. And in this tutorial, we're going to continue from our setup drawing. Here, we're going to put our title block together with our border and we will make our page setup so that we can make eventually our template. If you haven't made your title block or your borders or your styles, I suggest that you go through my videos so that you can complete this before coming into this tutorial. And with no further ado guys, let's get into this video. Welcome back guys. Now the idea behind making a template is so that every time you have to draw a new drawing, you don't have to set up your drawing every single time. A template is already preset for you so that whenever you're going to draw something, you just open a new drawing and it will be automatically set up for you. So that is why it is very important to take your time and set up your template correctly according to your needs. So in this video, I will show you how I made my template and what some tricks that you can use so when you're making a template to help you draw faster and that requires less work for you in the future. So first of all, it will be handy to have all your tabs preset beforehand. So meaning if you have a A4, if you need a A4 paper, you have your A4 paper set. If you need a A3 paper, you have your A3 paper set. So let's start right there. Let's start with our A4 paper. And here we can then go to our model space, select our border A4, and let's copy this with base points. Let's go back to our paper space and just paste it anywhere you can. Now let us go back and let's also copy our title block, copy with base point. So copy with base point. Let's go back to our layout and let's paste this. Now here we can see that it's not set up very good. It does not look that quite good. So let us go back into our model space. Now what would be handy is for you to know where in your drawing correspond with your layout A4. So for this, we will draw a couple squares, rectangles. So first of all, we have this one, and this is then the area that I can draw within my A4 paper. So everything out of that area, I know it won't be good. Also, I would like to know where my title block is situated. So I will also add this to it. So then you know in your drawing, in your model space, you would know that within this square right here, you can draw. Everything else outside of it, it won't be, it would be cut off. So let's make a block from this measurement. This one we will call our help border. Your base point. I want to convert it into a block and click OK. We're gonna also need our help border for our A3 paper. So we're gonna make this one, this one, this one, and also this one. Now if you go into your block editor, but instead of block editor, let's do it in place. Block edit in place. Yes. And let's add to our block these other sizes. This tab will appear. So let's press add to working set. Now it's added to my set, and let us save this. Now we can go in our block editor and we will select these rectangles and add them to the base point of my block. Now let's add a visibility. You can put it anywhere, but just put it somewhere around here. Doesn't really matter as long as it's in my base line. Then you double click your visibility. We're gonna rename this to A4, add a new one, A3, A2, A1, and A0. Okay, now our visibilities are added. So here we can see it's starting with our A0. So we want to make the rest invisible. So you click on this. Then you select our A1. Now we're going to make the rest invisible. A2, A3, and A4. So we're going to make the rest invisible. Okay, now we're going to add a parameter. And this parameter, I want it to be 1 millimeter. So you type in 1, and it will ask you how much grips you want. Let us select, let's select 1. Now you select this parameter and you go into your properties, and let us make this also a list. It's set to 1, value 1, and the name is going to be scale. This visibility, the name is going to be, let's see, the name is going to be format. Now we're going to add our scale function, and it's asking what do you want to scale. We want to scale everything, including our title block. And let's add the list values. So first of all, for it's 1 on 1, then you have 1 on 2, 1 on 5, 1 on 10, 1 on 20, 20, 1 on 50, and 1 on 100. Click OK. And now we're going to save this block. So now if we go here, you can see that it is now A4 1 on 1. If we select this, then we have A4 1 on 2, 1 on 5. So that is exactly what we want. So then if we go into our format and we have A3, as you can see, our visibility has not taken over the distance 1. So we have to go back in our block and go into the visibility and add this to it. Oh, edit. Or you can select this and just say visibility object show for all states. And then you close it off. So here now we can see that it will be good. So 1-on-1. So this works correctly, guys. So now we have our help border made. So we will select it and then bring it here. Now this border you can put it anywhere, but in this tutorial we will put it in, let's see, why isn't this deleting? What layer is it under? Title block. So this layer is locked. So let us unlock it and move this from here. Now let us look for our base point of our drawing, our 0, 0, 0. That is our base point here. And let us begin with our A4 size. So here we have an A4, and depending on what you're drawing, most of the time, most of my drawings are 1-on-10 or 1-on-20. So I will start on 1-on-20. So I will move this to my base point, delete this now, and this also will move out of the way. Our borders I want to also move out of the way. So this one is 1-on-4, scale 1-on-20. Sorry, this is a format A4 and scale 1-on-20. So now we're gonna copy this about 6,000 millimeters to the right, and this one will be A3. It's about good. Now we're gonna copy this also. We're gonna make a couple more. This one will be A 2, A 1, A 0. Let's see. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Now to make it look a little neater, it'll be good if the distance will be the same. So let us make this 500, which is plus 40. And then here we can add, no, let's just make this 2000. So we have some space between those help borders. 2000. Then we have this one, also 2000. And last but not least, we have this one, also 2000. Now we have our help borders in place. You can place it wherever you want. I decided just to begin with this one, starting at 0, 0. And since I draw mostly medium-sized drawing, I prefer to use 1-on-20 as a starting point. So now let us go in our layout, and here we can double click in our viewport, and let's go to our A1, which is right here, help border. This we have to send it to back. So our border will be sent to back, and select your viewport once more, and let's start at 1-on-20. As you can see, it's basically the same size as my help border that is on the inside. So now since I have my help border, let us start by putting it exactly over where it needs to be, and let us bring this down. So now I know when I am drawing, I have to make sure stay within this parameter. Let's go into my, first of all, let's select this border, select this border and check to see if it's the correct one. It's correct one. As you can see, it's nicely fit in. Now let us go into my print preview. So most of the time I would rather do the WG2 PDF. So I will set this as standard. It will be a A4 paper, standing, so portrait view. I can then select extend. I want to center it, and let's see, portrait view, of course. And I need a plot style. I selected my plot style. And to make your plot style, you can either, if you don't have a plot style that you like, you can just start with monochrome, which is already built in AutoCAD. And then when you start with select monochrome, then you click on my style table, then it will be monochrome. But then, of course, you would want to do your own style. So you go down here and just click on, let's see, how do I, sorry, here, a new plot style. Then you can start from scratch, click next. You can name your plot style. I will name this one for the tutorial's sake as my style, plot styles. And then click on next. And then the table editor, of course. And here, the only thing I want to change, actually, you're gonna select everything. So select the first one, press shift, and select the last one. Only until 249, because these you want to remain the original color. So here we have, the rest we will make black. And depending on the color you chose for your logo, I suggest you select the color from your logo and you use also the object color. And the rest will just remain the same. So everything else is good how it is. Press save and finish. As you can see, it is selected automatically. And then you press apply to layout and you preview if it's good. As you can see, it is exactly what I want it to be. I have my block, I have my view is perfectly good. So then you select cancel, and you can see it will adjust it depending on the preview that you just had. Now the title block, you can either choose to, well, these are my defaults or the things I filled in from before. You guys also choose to fill in your title block beforehand, certain things that you know will be the same, like the 1 on 20, as I said, and of course A3 paper, A4 paper, and the revision letter is nothing. my drawing number. Let us just keep it that way. And the date. The date is kind of tricky. You can just do dot 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 2020. And the title or the project name, I won't fill in anything. And the description, I won't fill in anything. So here you can see it's nice and clean. That's how you want to begin. Now let us click one more time on plot and let's add this to our, this will be his page setup. So this one is A4, A4 PDF, portrait. Okay, and then you save it. So now you know this is the A4 PDF. So when, let's say when you're drawing, you can just choose here instead of having to set this up every single time. Apply and then press cancel. Now let us go to our second tab. In this one, since I already set up this one correctly, let us just delete this and start with this one. So if you click here, you right click on the tab, move and copy. I want to create a copy and then it will create a copy for me. Here we have a tree, as you can see, a tree. Now here the border doesn't, is not the correct one. So then we go into our model space again, copy with base point. Select this one and let's go into our paper space and let's paste it right here. Now let us delete this one and let us set this to standard A3. Go into our plot. Here we change this to A3 and then 297 by 420. That is the width and the height because we're still in portrait mode. As you can see, it automatically goes away because it's not the same page setup. But now we have a new page setup. So let's name this one A3 PDF portrait. Okay, so now we have our A4 and our A3. As you can see, it changes automatically depending on the choice you made. Now let us press apply, cancel, and you can see it is good. Now let us go into our viewport one more time. And now we want to select our A3 paper, our A3 help border. Let's go 1 on 20. Now we have to make sure it's the window is correctly situated. Move and bring it down to the other corner. So now this corresponds with my A3 help border. Now one more time, you can also copy this one by just pressing in your keyboard CTRL and then dragging it to the right or to the left. And that is all, it will make also a copy for you. Now this will be A2 paper. The same way we will also zoom into our viewport and then we will make, if you can't select your viewport, just send it to back, order, send to back, and then you will be able to select your viewport again. Now let us go into 120 again. Since that's the size I want to begin with, Select your view again. Make sure your view is in every corner. Move and put it in the right position. And now we will go here and bring it to this corner. And also here we want to preset our paper or our format to the correct size, A2. Also, something else that would be very handy is a plot stamp. So a plot stamp, in my case, I like it to have the location of my drawing on my computer. So to make a plot stamp, let us start out with an attribute. It will be called stamp. It will prompt also stamp. And let us leave this stamp be filled in automatically. The path of in my computer of my drawing. So here you have other options if you like the date that it was created, and let's say formulas if you want to add to it, the current sheet set. But I just like file name, which is the full path. So the path and the file name. Or let us just say the path. That will be, no, the path and the file name will be good, including everything. So here our height will be 1.5, and the justification will be top right corner. So it will fill in my stamp from right to left and not from left to right. Let us bring this down to millimeters, and here we have our plot stamp. This will also be in the layer title block. Let's just put it in the layer title block. And the text style will be, let's see which, yeah, default, which is good. Let's keep to default, and the width of my text will be by layer, but it will be 0.00 because we do not want it to become thick. Now let us make our block. Base point will be here. We'll call this one stamp. Everything is good. Allow exploding, no. Convert to block, okay. So here we can see that the location of my drawing is here, and this is the drawing name. This is very handy. Now this same block we will copy with base points. Let's see first if it's in the right layer. No, it's not. Let us put it in the layer title block. Let us go into the block one more time. Like how I explained in my tutorial from layer, it's better to always have your the item or the stuff inside your block under the layer 0, and then the block itself you put in the layer you want it to be. So this one will be in the layer title block, and the text inside of my block will be in the layer 0. So now let us copy this one more time, and let me copy paste it to my other paper or tabs in my drawing. Now let us continue with our different type of formats. Let us go to now A1. Oh, A1. Zoom out. We're nearly there, guys. Again, send to back. One on 20. This one is quite big, so that's why it disappeared. We're gonna, one more thing, we need to, of course, select our right border. Copy with base point. Let's see if this one was the correct border. Nope. So we will do that one also. So this is our A1 paper, A1 border, and here we have our help A1. So we move this to the top right corner. We bring this down this way, and you can see it's good. Now let us correct the A2 paper. Copy paste from base point, go into our A2 paper, and we have to just delete the border A3. Now let us check to see if it's correctly sized. So first of all, you want to make sure it's the correct scale, and then bring it to your corners. And here we have our A2 paper. Then our A1, make sure you don't forget to fill in your title block A1. And also for this one, A2, make sure you make your plot correct. So here we have 425.94. Okay, everything is good. Now let us add A2 PDF portraits. Okay. Now you have to just apply and press cancel, and it's good. Do we do the same for the A1? Add A1 PDF portrait. I will copy paste this so I won't be having to type it each and every time. Apply, cancel. And now last but not least, let us do our A0. A0. Start off this way. Then we have our add A0. Apply, cancel. Let's go to our model space that we copy paste this with base point. And let us go to our A0. Paste our border. Delete the old one. Make sure you change the title block to A0. And then, of course, make sure it's set to the correct help border in our model space. Move, paste, and paste. And let us again preview. It's good. Exit. And then just press cancel. It will, let's try one more time. It won't take it because I have already made this one here. So let's just do this and press apply and then cancel. So now we have all the sizes that we need. You can also, if you like, decide to make it also landscape view. So you will have these same tabs, but just in landscape view. And also make sure, don't forget to make your page setup portrait and landscape views if you want landscape views also. Now let us go back into my model space. So these are in my paper space, so I can delete these now. I can also lock my border and my border. So now let's see, my title block I already have in my drawing, so I can delete this one also. My logo, I've already made it as a block. It's called logo. So these you can just delete. Now when you have a drawing, what I have come across is sometimes we select purge. And what purge does, it cleans your drawing, but you do not always want to purge everything in your drawing. You want to keep your dimensions that we already preset in your drawing. So the way around this, how I avoid deleting all my styles in my drawing, what I do is make sure have one style from each style I made. I will have one thing in my drawing. So let us start off like this so that you can see what I mean. So this is one on one, and this one is no, this one is one on. Let's start one on 10. Or we can just delete this and delete these. Let us copy this one on one, and let's copy it a couple times. One on 10. No, actually, I'm selecting the wrong one. This one is 1 on 10. As you can see, 1 on 10. 1 on 100. 1 on 2. 1 on 20. We have a couple more to go, so let's just copy paste that one. 1 on 5 and 1 on 50. Oh, we have 1 on 100 too, 500 too. Since we have 1 on 500, do not forget to add it to your list of your your scale parameter. So here I stopped at 100, but you can add just 500 to it, and it will automatically just add it to the list. So here we have 1 on 550, 500, 550, 100. Let's see, 20, 2, 10, and 1. Okay, so these are good. The reason why it is not resizing, I explained it when I was busy making this one. It will just inherit it later on. But you can leave it this way if you like. Now we have this one, leader 1 on 1. We will also do the same for this. This one will be 1 on 10, 1 on 100, 1 on 2, 1 on 20, 1 on 5, 1 on 50, and 1 on 500. And now you can delete these. As you can see, it just varies super big. But just leave it this way. If you want, you can make it nice and then we just move it somewhere else. It's super big. So we have our leaders there. Then we want also to add to this our, move this one, our dimensions. And one more, guys, I forgot. It has also leader default. Let's see this one. So let us see, did I have everything? Yes, I did. You don't have to choose standard because this is from AutoCAD. It won't be deleted anyways. Now we have a dimension default. Start off at that. Then we will do the same as we did for our leaders. Just copy paste it many times. One on 1, 1 on 10. You can also select it here on the side. 1 on 100. It becomes really in not so visible. Oh, we have this one already. So let's do 1 on 2. Let's move this one out of the way because it's so big. Then we have 1 on 20, 1 on 5, 1 on 50, and copy this one more time, 1 on 500. Let's see, we have all of them now. Now let us add our text. Let us see our text, also the same. One on 1, 1 on 10, 1 on 100, 1 on 20, 1 on 2, 1 on 5, 1 on 50, 1 on 500, and that was, no, one more, defaults. And also we will do the same for our table style. Let's go and select this one right here. Now this table says default, so we will add that one and copy this one a couple times. One on one, one on 10, one on 100, one on 2, one on 20, one on 5, one on 50, one on 500. Okay, so we have all our different sizes. This one is one on 500. It has an overall scale of 500. Why? That is why it is so big. I guess that's correct, after all. Now let us, one more last thing, guys, is your layers. That will also be purged if you don't add it to your drawing. So let me copy paste this a couple times. Or what you can do is just, no, let's just do it with lines. It really doesn't matter how much lines, how big the lines be or where they are, as long as you add it. So the same layers we have created in our drawing, let's see. All these layers that we have created, let us add it to our, close this off. So let us start with a beam, border. But actually border is not really needed because it is already in your drawing since you have your border in your paper space. Then we have dimensions, electrical, exterior walls, fixtures, floor plan, foundation, grid lines, hatch, interior walls, loose furnitures, openings, plumbing, roof, text, title block. This won't out. This won't be purged anyways because it's already in my title block in my paper space. Now we will try and purge. So here we can see we can purge all of this right here. We can purge these right here. The layers, we can purge this layer. Shapes, of course we can purge all of these. So now you can just clean your drawing by just selecting everything and purging all these items. As you can see, even though I purge my items, I will try and purge these also and purge this. Now you wonder, well, what are we gonna do with this right here? Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a block out of this, and I'm gonna call one or more objects in the selection set is into a lock layer. It will be included on an unlock layer. Only unlock layers will be included. Well, that is not the idea, so unlock your border one more time and add these to make a block. It will be called template. Select your base point, it doesn't matter where, and you save it. Now this block will be in your drawing somewhere, doesn't matter where. I will just put it here, out of the way, and I will make a layer, and I will call the layer template. And the color doesn't matter as long as it has a layer name. Close this, call it template. Under the layer of template, now you select your, sorry, now you go into your layer properties one more time. First of all, lock your title block and lock also your, let's see, my border, so those won't move. And let us, your template layer we just created, we want to make it in, freeze it, invisible, and we don't want to print it neither. So now we have our squeaky clean drawing that is preset with the different paper sizes. As you can see, we have our different paper sizes, and it's cleaned. It have our only the layers that we need, and yeah, that was basically it, guys. Now the last step to this is to just save your drawing and then go into your AutoCAD, go into your options, and now it will be handy that when your template, it will automatically open the template, this template. So first of all, let us make this template, save as drawing template, and it will automatically save it into your template wherever AutoCAD is taking a template from. Let us call this my template. My template. You want to save it. If you want, you can add a description, but in this case, I will leave it this way. Why is this going the wrong way? Wait a minute. It is going the wrong way. It is going from, well, you can just do top left corner, and then instead of putting it here, you can just put it here and rotate this the other way. Is also good. And you can copy this with base point and add it to the rest of my drawings. And delete this one. Just make sure you have it as a top left corner so it won't do the same thing it just did. So now you can just save your template. It will ask you to save your template. Just go down here and then you select template, and then you can resave it to my template. Now that we have our template set, guys, what is going on with my title block? It is set to by layer, but I want this to be black and white. Save it. Where did it go? Oh, it's set to the bottom, I guess. So it was just set to the bottom. What you can do is just select it and bring it to the front, and it will also be good. Make sure you do this bring to front. And last but not least, bring to front. Now save it again. It will automatically save this time. Now let us go into our options. Last but not least, and our template. So when we press new, the new button, we want to be able to just go to our template directly. So just select this one and press apply, press OK. So now if you start a new drawing, let me close this off, guys. As you can see, it selects the correct template automatically. That is also if you select here new, it will always pop up with that template if you like. It's not a must, but I like it to be this way, so when I'm drawing I just have to press new and it will be selected automatically. So guys, that was the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it take very long because I had a lot to explain. I hope you find these tips handy. I hope you will be able to use it also. It helped me a lot. And I will see you on my next tutorial. Bye for now, guys.